Hey, how are you all doing? So, what does procrastination do to you long term? I know when you're doing it in the moment, when you're putting things off, it's like, oh, I will do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it next week. I will do it in February. We are now almost into the last week of January, and some of you are looking at your New Year resolutions, and you're having this very real realization that of all the things that you said you wanted to do in January, you haven't done any of them. You're looking at your resolutions and thinking of all the plans that you made, of everything that you thought you would be doing by now, you haven't done it. And what this does is it gives you reasons to be bitter and to be resentful, and it gives you reasons to come up with excuses. So instead of being honest and saying, okay, I haven't actually done this because I haven't been disciplined and focused and I've just been putting off, you start saying things like, oh, I didn't have the money, I didn't have the time, I didn't have this, and you stop taking responsibility of all of it, and it just ripples into something that's just out of a horror movie. And today I want to talk about the 3 things that procrastination does to you long term. And before you procrastinate anything else in your life, I want you to sit down and think through these 3 things, and I want you to weigh the options. Is this really worth me putting this task off, or am I just going to do it? Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Petronella Mnenja. I'm an author, I'm a consultant, I'm a speaker. My book, From Goka to Oxford, The Girl Who Dared to Dream, is available on Amazon. Please do get a copy. Hopefully by the grace of God, we'll be having 2 more books coming soon. I am so excited. In today's video, I want to talk about the big P. The big P. I know when I do these videos, I'm like, this is the big thing, this big thing, this one is a big thing, and every other thing that I talk about is a big thing, because what I try to do with these videos is to give you tiny bit pieces at a time of this big picture of the amount of work that you have to do. Because if you're going to live a life of results, a life of purpose, a life of vision, then you have to be willing to put in the work in every facet of your life. And we have talked about discipline, we have talked about vision, and today we are going to talk about procrastination. Because here is the thing: no matter how focused you are, no matter how disciplined you are, no matter what vision you have, what purpose, what goals you have, if you don't actually start doing them, they will materialize into nothing. How many times have you actually sat down and been like, I know I'm supposed to do this, but nah, I'm not gonna do it today. I know I'm supposed to do this now, but I just have a headache, I'll do it tomorrow. I know I'm supposed to do this, but I'm going to do it tomorrow. And tomorrow comes and they're like, oh, I'll do it next week. And next week comes, you're like, I'll do it next month. And ultimately, you never get to do it. And what happens is, that's what happens when you sit down with someone in their 70s and you ask them, tell me about your life. What do you regret the most? And oftentimes people regret the things they never got to do than the things that they did. Because when you do something, it's done. Whatever that happens, you can deal with its consequences. And if at the most you get is a no, then fine, it was worth it. But what happens is, if you actually never try, if you actually never put yourself in that situation where you actually try, you will never know the outcome. You will never know whether you could have done it right or not. You will never know if you could have worked or not. You will never know if you would have gotten that job or not. And when you don't know what could have happened, the power of what if is dangerous. What if will kill you? What if will leave you down, betrayed, and a lot of things. And I don't want that for you. So the first thing that I want you to know about procrastination is, procrastination distracts you from your dreams permanently. And I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen to me good. Because what happens is, if you're supposed to do something and you put it off to tomorrow, tomorrow comes and you put it off to next week. Next week comes and you put it off to next month. What happens is, you are creating a pattern and you are telling your brain that it doesn't have to consistently commit to this. You are telling your brain, you're telling your body, you're telling every part of you that this is not important. We do not have to have a sense of urgency on this one. We can just put it aside and do it. And what happens is, slowly that thing starts losing value in your eyes. Slowly that thing starts losing energy. urgency in your eyes. The thing stops exciting you anymore because you never actually put in the work to see how it grows. And that idea of a book never materializes, and that idea of a song never materializes, because when you had the inspiration, the energy, and the thought, you never put them to action. So when you put away doing something for so long, you get to never do it in the future. It just dies down. So before you actually put something out, I want you to stop and think, if I don't do this today, I might never get to do this again in my life. Am I really, really, really ready to live with that? And if the answer is no, then get up and do it. There are so many times when I've told myself, when I know I'm supposed to do something, and I will just convince myself that I have a headache, or I'm tired, or come up with any other excuse to not do it. And what happens is I will go to bed, and my mind, because me and my mind, we have this partnership that we are constantly growing, and I go to bed and it's nagging me. I can't sleep because I know I'm supposed to do that. And oftentimes I wake up at 3 a.m., I get my laptop out and I start working, I start typing, I start doing this because my mind knows that I'm supposed to do that. And because of that, I'm consistently able to get results that I'm supposed to get because I put in the work. The things that I didn't put in the work to, they die down. I don't have the fire anymore. So if you put something out consistently, you are communicating to your brain that that thing is not important, and you will never do it. And what I want you to realize about this is, this leads into the second one. Procrastination makes you live with regret. As I said earlier on, we regret the things that we never did more than the things that we did. So because you had this amazing business idea, you knew the stakeholders, you knew who you were supposed to talk to, you knew who you were supposed to do, you knew everything, but you just never got around to doing it. And when you are 50 years old and you're seeing someone do exactly what you thought about 20 years ago and they're becoming successful, you will beat yourself up. You will make yourself feel like a failure. You will doubt yourself. You will make yourself feel miserable. You will put yourself in this constant state of depression because you know you could have done it. How many times have you thought of an idea and just never did anything about it, and a few months later you see someone being successful and succeeding in that? How many times did you see someone and you were like, I like them, and you never approached them, and you see them years later with their husbands and their babies, and you're thinking those could have been my babies? My point is just that when you procrastinate doing something, it sets you on a path where you will live your life with regret, because we regret the things we never got to do than the things that we did. So if at most you're going to get a no, do it. If you're going to send an email and you're not going to get a response, do it. If what you're going to get, if you don't have to spend money, if you don't have to spend anything, if you don't have to take anything away from yourself to do something, then do it. And in some instances, if you actually have to spend the money, do it. If it doesn't work out, you get lessons and you will have successfully invested in the school of life. When you don't do things that you're supposed to do, you set yourself up for a life of regret, and I don't think anyone wants to live a life of regret. The last one is, procrastination kills your confidence and lowers your self-esteem over time. Because here is the thing, before we judge the world, we judge ourselves. Before we judge our partners, before we judge our families, before we judge our children, we judge ourselves. And usually people who judge others harshly do that because that's what they feel about themselves. So if you do not get to have a life where you try and fail, where you pursue your dreams, where you do the things that you want to do, what that does is you slowly stop respecting yourself. It slowly pulls away at your self-esteem. Because when you try something and you realize that you're good at it, you're going to feel confident, you're going to feel good, you're going to want to try it again, you're going to want to do it over and over again. And this just gives you a bubbly and healthy outlook towards life. But if you never try, if you never get to do it, what this does is you never know how good or not good you are. And you just become easily harsh and contemptuous over everyone who has done it, because you yourself, you don't know, or you think you could have done it. So it makes you doubt your capability as a person. It makes you slowly believe in yourself. It eats at you, and ultimately you become those people who throw javelins at others. You become one of those people who are disgruntled, who are grumpy, who are obnoxious, who are nauseating to be around because they don't have any positive thing to say. Not because they don't believe that life is good, but because they wasted their opportunities, they wasted the chance they could have had. And because of that, they are grumpy towards everyone and the rest of the world for their own mistakes. So if you're going to immunize yourself against that, get up and do what you're supposed to do. I don't care if it's going to work out. I don't care if it's not going to work out. If you think of it in your head, if you have the resources, if you have the time, if you have the capability to do it, think it and do it. If it fails, glory be to God, we try again. If it works out, yay, we keep going. Life is all about trying. Life is all about going forward. Life is all about giving what you can and being true to your dreams. So continue being true to your dreams. When you're supposed to do something, do it. When you're supposed to show up, because procrastination eats away at you. Procrastination makes you put away your dreams permanently. Procrastination corrodes your confidence and your self-esteem. Procrastination sets you up on a life of regret because you will never know how good you could have been. You will never know how bad you could have been. You will never know how successful you could have been. And because you don't know what could have been, the what ifs will kill you and they will drive you mad for the rest of your life. So before you put up that task, before you push it to tomorrow, to next week, stop and think, am I really ready for the trade-off that comes with me putting away my dreams? As always, it's always amazing to talk to you, and let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like and share this video. Thank you.